Cancer, how you doing? So for a lot of you, just very quickly, for a you could be dealing with a life path 4 or Scorpio, but I'm hearing numb gum. So I don't know if it's a dental practice or practitioner. So you might have toothache or go to the dentist or an appointment of such. Then I'm also hearing practicing, like practice makes perfect. Something that I'm doing, that I'm repetitively doing constantly every single day, trying to get better at it. Okay, so it could be music related, it could be career related, it could be just a hobby. But I'm practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And it feels like that you're kind of doing this every single day or every other day, unless your name is Colin or Day. But it feels like this practice makes perfect. I need to perfect it. Okay, so it could be a perfectionist, okay, and basically perfecting my craft. Or the name Croft or Mandy or anybody beginning with M. I keep hearing the name M. So Emily or M, as in Mantis, Matthew, Emily, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack, Jackie, Just Jackie. You right, Just Jackie? All the normal names. I'm also hearing Norman or Normal. The something normal, paranormal, or the... What's that's on the TV? Something normal. There's something normal. I don't know what it is. It's kind of coming up as a TV show. But it might be something that you do on the television. So I would very much doubt that anybody's on the TV, unless your name's Steve. But like YouTube, maybe. You could be doing like YouTube stuff, and you practice it every single day. Don't forget, Cancer, you can also watch this as a Life Path 7. But yeah, all I keep hearing is practice makes perfect, practice makes perfect. And it might just be something that you might not even be getting paid for, okay? Could be having a lot to do with around a Life Path 4, a Scorpio, or an Aries person, okay? And I'm practicing and rehearsing. Like, it feels like that I need to rehearse this first and then do it. So it feels like that you would do this kind of stuff on a camera, and you rehearse it, you take a shot. So it might be camera work, anything to do with cameras, or the name Cameron, but camera work. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2, something about the boy. It might be a child that does this, or your child is practicing something and you're teaching your kids. So you might like have children, okay, and whatever it is that you're interested in, they're interested in it too, and you keep telling them that if you keep practicing, you'll get better at it, okay? So it feels like teaching, maybe teaching people, and like I said, more advanced energy of whatever this is, it's going into teaching. So you're either learning a skill or you're teaching it, okay, but learning it from someone. So that would relate to me doing my teaching tier when it comes to channeling and tarot cards and all that sort of stuff, which is on Patron, if you are interested. But yeah, like practicing, preaching and teaching. Okay, so you got 3. So it could be a Piscean in your energy somewhere. Practice what I preach and teach. So they're saying a teacher of such. Anyway, so let's see. Lucy, hearing Lucy or Lucifer, Capricorn or / Gemini. Preacher man, something to do with some sort of religion. REM, a Virgo could be here. Yeah, no direct messages as such, Cancer. So anyway, let's see the last 48 hours and then the next 48 hours and see how things are changing. Let's see, Cancer for the last 48. So you could have been arguing over something. It could have been a third party. It could be at work, some kind of very stressful work situation. I feel like that someone keeps looking into someone's relationship all the time. Someone, like I said, a 5 of Wands is either a minor, which it is, or a major kind of thing here. But it's kind of like I'm always having to like protect myself. I'm always having to try to defend myself all the time. It might be a defense lawyer or Laura, but like a defense lawyer, okay, and I need to go to court, okay, and I need to defend myself at court because I might be taken to court or someone might be taking me to court. If not, someone is courting someone, so you're really dealing with the Pisces because that's my if not. Afraid not, if not. Okay, so you really could be like a third energy's getting wound up by looking in someone's relationship. So it could be like you're on multimedia somewhere, okay, possible, and there could be an ex that's floating around that's looking in on other people's relationships. This is also spying in on other people's work. So it's kind of like I'm taking a look at what it is, but I don't like what it is that I hear or what I see. So it's people that can also get very wound up by messages that they're getting that they don't like. Okay, so it can be cross-watching, I don't know, that I need to defend myself through something. So it can be people that are very quick to judge people. Okay, but I definitely keep picking up that someone keeps looking in on other people's relationships, and they always have something to say about other people's relationships. So it can be someone that's also very nosy, like, oh, I don't agree that they're together. It could be family. Like I said, if you've got children and your children are of age in order to have relationships, this is possibly when a mother or father will say, okay, lad, you can go out and do what you like, but the girl can't. Do you know what I'm saying? So you could have like 3 children or something. 2 of them are boys and 1 is the girl, and the girl is the one that gets it in the ear and says, no, you're not dating that person. So, I mean, it can be something like that, but whichever way it is, someone keeps peering into other people's relationships and getting wound up the fact that they may not be with that person. Now, for a lot of you, you might actually just be, or Justin, or B, okay, or Brian, anybody that begins with B, okay, but you really could be having a lot of arguments around where it is that you work. Like, because you work at a certain place, there's a lot of like competition, there's like trying to beat the competition, also people at work that might be trying to outdo one another, and you might be struggling to find work, or when you're at work. Now, if this isn't you, it could be your partner, okay, is just struggling around their work sector. The relationship might start to have its struggles because of someone that might have taken extra shifts at work, or someone works quite a long time, and the other person gets annoyed quite a lot when the other person's working. So it's kind of like, well, I don't want to interrupt you, but I am interrupting you, and like, I need some time off work, and because I need time off work, why can't you have time off work when I have it? So we can both enjoy. And it's kind of like this, sometimes it can really be a lot of coexisting. Okay, we coexist in arguing a lot about work, about things that go on at my work. Okay, because I keep hearing that someone's looking in to copy something, because I keep hearing, that's my work, that's not your work, it's my work. Okay, I did it, something like that. Let's see. Cancer. What's Cancer got coming up? Because it's kind of like an idea. So you've got a Capricorn possibly watching. Could be a Capricorn, I don't know. If not, it could be a Gemini. It's normally the first cardinal earth sign for me, which is Capricorn. It's actually where I have it in my work sector. Capricorn is in my 2nd house. So I can be very very diplomatic with Cancer. Like, if you've got like a Capricorn energy, say in the 2nd house, where your money is, okay, it can be also very protective over like working a long time and getting very much in my own way, standing in my own way, getting very diplomatic, getting very annoyed sometimes. It's just people's chart. You just act accordingly to what it is that you are, you know, within your chart. But there's this very slow approach to watching this person in a relationship, that this, because it could really be a third energy here, okay? Third energies are not always third-party love interests, but they can be a metaphysical person that just kind of like has an idea. Okay, so you got a few messages coming out. You got a third-party energy that maybe just kind of like just there. They're just there watching, okay, watching other people's relationships, watching life go by, watching people succeed, okay, and then also getting very wound up about other people's success. So it can also be resentment, like I'm resenting you because you have a better job than me, or I resent you because you have more money than me, or I resent you because of this. And I mean, some people can actually resent people for waiting. Like, I'm just waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and I'm resenting you for actually waiting for me. Like, someone could be very tormented here, okay, because it can also be like I'm getting really annoyed because I'm having to wait, okay. So this is also like a waiting room. So it's a little bit like the NHS in Britain, really. But like doctors or the job queue, like I'm struggling for finances and money. I'm struggling around trying to get appointments with the NHS. I'm struggling in order to try and find a diagnosis. And I'm just having to sit there waiting, and it's a bit like sitting in a hospital place and just waiting and waiting and waiting, and you just don't get anything back apart from like passed on to the next one. Okay, yeah, we'll give you a call back in like a couple of 3 days. In 3 days' time, we'll give you a call, and you're like, hold on a minute, bruv. Like, this took a fucking long time coming, right? So there's a few messages coming. Some of you might be waiting for something that you've bought and you've got an idea to do it, but you're having to wait for it to be actually delivered. So you could have ordered something online, okay, and you realise that this could well help your job out, okay, whatever it is that you do around work, okay, and you've come up against an idea and you thought, that's a really good idea. I could do that, but I have to wait for it to turn up. Okay, so for instance, like a lot of you guys possibly may or may not know, I also have a vlog, okay, which is Behind the Life of Tarot, and we do loads of comedy shit over there as well, me and my girlfriend Emily. And I'm actually waiting for a couple of products to turn up that I want to kind of demonstrate, which is also going to be quite funny. And Emily is also going to do me a tarot card reading, and she's never picked up a set of tarot cards in her life. Okay, so if you want to know what a soulmate or a twin flame does from the other perspective of giving me a tarot card reading, you might find it interesting, or it might really piss you off, the fact that I'm just babbling and you're not getting your messages. I don't know. But like, yeah, you might want to watch that. But again, it's kind of like I've got products and stuff like that. I've got things that are needing to turn up for my work, okay? And you're probably sort of like getting a bit wound up because it isn't here yet, okay? There's that. So you got like work kind of related stuff that could have been going on with the last 48 hours, and you're still trying to wait for this product to turn up. Some of you have just been watching a lot of tarot card readings and just getting really fucking wound up about it, about third parties, okay, and about that someone may be seeing another person, or there's just a metaphysical person in the background there watching other people's relationships, okay. This could relate to the other person, looking in on other people's relationships, not doing anything, but just getting really wound up by not doing anything. So it's kind of like this pointless energy, you know, it's just pointless. I'm just sitting here watching, and I'm more of a spectator than an actual doer, okay? I'm more of a or the name Donna, right, Donna? Or anybody beginning with D, Danielle, Dansang Tao. Someone that does Wing Chun, or someone from China. But like Tang Sang Dao, that used to be when I used to do Wing Chun. I say, Tang Sang Dao. I don't know. So it could be someone that does Wing Chun, for instance. I'm also hearing the name Robert, and also Wing or Robertson also. Robin. Let's see. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, so the name Paul, but then also robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, so this Three of Pentacles might be where you have or had a loan. It's going to be a loan shark or someone that you got a loan from. Okay, and you borrowed a load of money and you're just slowly paying it off piece by piece. So whatever it is that you may have for your work, it's a little bit like when you do, say for instance, if you do YouTube. Okay, YouTube can be very expensive because you need to buy a load of cards, camera, set up, lights, tablecloth, loads of stuff. But whatever it is that you can also do, like me for music, I have to buy loads of VSTs. I've got a Kaya MPC 61 keyboard. I've also got like a Live 2 turning up as well because I love music and VSTs. And then you put it in with your tax, and I can get tax relief on it because it's electronic and I work from home. So when you run your own business, okay, this could be like when you run your own business and you're self-employed. And you've got two messages here now, okay? So a lot of you are kind of like maybe bought something or a couple of things and you're waiting for it to turn up, and you might have had a loan or something like that, and you're paying it off piece by piece because it could be a large kind of thing that you're buying. But then there's another energy here that, what was it now, man? That you're paying off piece by piece. That's a Pisces energy. And some of you, this is sorting out your tax relief. Oh man, sorry, I'm just dilly-dallying because there was another message there, Cancer, and I know a lot of you are getting really fucking wound up. but there was quite an important message there. So you've got Pisces, you've got another 3 energy here. So some of you are basically waiting for this thing to turn up, and it could well start turning up. Some of you are turning over profit, and you keep watching your profit margins turn up. It can also be people that have tarot card readings that are watching their work sector quite closely here, or the name Lee, Laura, anybody beginning with L. There's also some of you, like, you could well be married and you have a mother, and this is the mother of your children. So it could be X. This is normally what I call, in the olden days when tarot card readings were about, when I was a wee lad, was known as the mistress. Okay, so I call it Meg Ryan and the piece on the side. So because you have 3 and 3, that could be an interference of such in a relationship. So someone could well be in a metaphysical one. There could also be where you have a child with an ex-person, and this would be the child, and you have to keep going maybe back and to and from court or social services in order to be able to make the child more grounded. If, like, the child's adolescent child, and say if you have kids and teens that are kind of like really fucking acting out, okay, and they're making a lot of trouble, okay, and if they are, this could be where kids start to get in trouble with the police and they might have to go to court, but it is also like social services, okay, so the kids or whatever are being have a close eye on by social services, and this would also be like social services. Okay, if you don't know what social services is, it's basically when I may or may not have an unruly child that gets into a lot of crime and into a lot of trouble, and the government start taking over, saying, okay, we're going to take over now before the child ends up going to prison before they're above age. We need to step in and start like laying the law down and saying what you can and can't do, and that you have to abide by our rules and you have to go here, which means that if there's an ex involved and the father or whatever, there has to be a go in between, so you stop arguing. So you have to contact a solicitor, a lawyer, or someone like that, okay? And so you don't have to contact the other person directly, okay? Some of you may have children and you don't directly talk to the ex, but you do to the children, okay? But then this is normally when exes, because like I said, you could have a mother or father and like a stepfather and mother, and your parents argue and you are the child, and they argue because they have different, relationships, but they used to be married, okay? And they argue quite a lot amongst themselves because of one of them probably, so on and so forth. So you could have witnessed a lot of that. What else have you got here for you guys now? So a lot of you have been waiting for this project. I keep picking up like project, like I've got a project on my mind and I've got a plan and I really want to execute it and go forward. But I'm waiting for it to turn up, and it's a good chance that it really could with the Empress here, okay? Now, for a lot of you, there's a lot of messages to do with X energies here also, and like with children, and then also mainly around also a metaphysical connection that is basically just peering into other people's business, because this can be a place of business, it can be happening at work, okay, at their work, like, wherever it is that you go, and there's a lot of competition at work and people that fucking argue all the time, okay, but there could well be just a metaphysical connection that watches YouTube, that just looks for answers into someone else's peering into their round window. Zippy and Bung, well, I don't know, George. Come on, children, today we're going to look through the round window, aren't we? Yes, Zippy, we are. You wouldn't know that unless you're from Britain. But like, looking in, look, George, look what's going on in there. Look, what the fuck is going on in there? Well, I don't know. We best go in and find out. Some of you go to a boozer or a pub called the George, or unless your name's Georgina or Georgie, or you go to a boozer, and that is normally what we call in Britain, I'll meet you at the office, right? So you look into the office and you just see who's in there, and there's nobody in there, and you're like, oh. So you might get word from a friend asking if you want to go out. So that's a very just quick look in your past energy. Definitely picking up huge signs of metaphysical, though, that are going to get wound up here. Because that's an attachment of a person that's not even putting in any effort or action towards the energy that they feel. They're just there. Okay. A bit like Michael Jackson. I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. Let's see. So, next 48 hours for Cancer. Next 48 for Cancer. So you got once bitten, twice shy, but you might be looking to pick up some extra shifts at work. So if you work for a place or you don't work for yourself, see, that was it, man. Sorry, this was the message that I was trying to remember. Somebody resents the other person for having their own business. Okay, people, I don't know why people think this or have this opinion when they work for, say, you know, they go out, they, you know, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, by 7 or half 7 they go out, they work in a shop, they work in a building, in a factory, you know, they go and work for a place, and they basically get like time off, they get like 6 weeks here, you got so many holiday days per week, or per year, you got to fit them all in. Some people are under the influence that think that when you have your own business, that's much easier to run than what it is if I work for someone. So you can resent a person for knowing that, well, hold on a minute, I don't actually get paid for having all of these days off. You might, but I don't. Right? So I have to work for myself and I have to keep my business going and ticking over all the time. So I never have time off. Okay? I have to motivate myself to get working. I have no one to tell me I have to be there at 7. I have to decide what time I want to work, and I have to persevere and keep putting in loads more effort and loads more work. If I want more money or more clients or more people, I have to work harder, okay? I don't get paid at the end of the month if I don't put work in, so I can't just have time off. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like resentment of like someone possibly working a lot of hours or maybe getting into a little bit of an argument because the person works so much, okay? But that could well be because a person has a family and they do it for their children, but they're not always around in order for their relationship, okay? So you could have had slight arguments or disagreements here because a person's working quite a lot. Okay, so now here on this side, some of you possibly are going to be asked in order to pick up some extra shift work, or you're looking for a little bit of extra money, okay? And it might be, like I said, if you work for a place, it might be around a Pisces. If I say place, you say cod, fish, haddock. That's, but that's a Piscean. So you got a 3 again possible. But I keep hearing Gen, Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jackson. Let's see. Don't forget, you can also watch it as a Life Path 7. Next 48 hours for Cancer. So yeah, this would be Libra. So this would also be needing to ask for some time off if you're like, because this is also the boss. Okay, so there might be also underhanded tactics of going around people's backs, saying things maybe behind people's backs, but not telling them directly from the horse's mouth. Okay. So, because these are things that are hidden and not spoke of, so they're just things that go on without your acknowledgement. Okay. So it can be a lot of things that are going on around work here. This can also be spying and watching and not saying the fact that I am. So I'm watching something, but I'm not saying that I'm one of these people that are watching. I'm just watching. Okay. And possibly getting wound up and watching, but still not revealing myself. This person can also be someone of like a catfish as well. Okay, unless you're going catfishing or camping or glamping. But it can also be a lot of pride, pride can come across as very strange, because it can also be people that just don't like show their face. Like, I'm not showing my face, okay? I'm not giving you FaceTime, okay? We're not talking, and I'm not showing who I really am. So it can be dangerous when in third energies here, because it can mean that people have connections with other people and you don't even know who it is. Like I said, it's like speaking to someone on the phone and they ring you up and they just say that they're someone. Okay, like I had a scam yesterday. Someone just pretty much phoned up and said, hello, would you like the new iPhone? And I'm like, sorry, but and then they went beep, because they're just scammers. right? So because I was like, no, 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 and without anything, they put the phone straight down, hung up, and it's obvious that it's a scammer. But I've got no idea who that person is on the other end of the phone. So people can be very deceiving when you don't know who they are. So it's just an error there to be very careful, because there's someone like lurking around, looking and watching, but not saying the fact that they are. So I don't know what it is that they're after. Okay, because they might be after an opportunity here to, I don't know, jump on the bandwagon of such. Okay, so I'm looking for an opportunity. I'm not going to say that I am, I just am, and I'm looking for extra money maybe, or I'm looking to see how well you're doing and seeing if I can get this as well. Okay, because that can also be like jumping on the bandwagon of someone else's relationship and trying to jump in on the action of the 3 energy here, which would mean they wouldn't really want to, but they're just probably metaphysically connected and just doing that. Let's see. Because something is intriguing for this person to be here, but not actually say anything. Let's see. Next 48 for Cancer. So you got a Devil. So I thought there was a Capricorn energy roughly here. So you got a Gemini or Capricorn or Life Path 6. Possible energy that has a Libra in it as well. Cool, man, like I said, this can be... when I first went through my first twin flame energy, that I have started to say over on the teachings here, I went through what you call as... oh God, what on earth was it called? Cerebral narcissism, which is that I kept feeling, but it was also spiritual, that the person was watching, and they kept watching and watching and watching and watching and watching, but never making themselves known the fact that they were. They just were. And it was actually a Libra, and her name was Danielle Martin. If you're still there, Danielle Martin. But like, it was, the person would just watch and watch and watch and watch and always be in my energy, and I knew it was going on, but the person would never, ever, ever, ever reveal the fact that they were still doing that. So your energy here, someone around you could be feeding back certain information to people, because this is also like doing things that you guys would be completely oblivious and unaware of. Okay, and that could be anything, and it could be happening to anyone. Okay, but like, I'm planning a load of stuff behind the scenes. I'm not telling you, and I'm not telling you that I'm here watching, but I am, like 24/7 all the time. I'm always here in the background. But cerebral narcissism of what I went through was where a person was trying to torment the energy, okay, by being connected to one and another one, but then still looking out for messages of what it is that I could get from it, okay. So it can be someone that is like an opportunist, and I'm trying to see what I can gain from it, okay. But it can also be torment. Like I said, it can be someone that's like purposely or whatnot trying to torment someone by staying in the energy or just thinking that they are. I don't know, but I keep picking up like tormenting someone, okay, and that is also people that argue as well over esoteric stuff as well, like a lot of people that are always fighting here, fighting over money, but like I said, this is also where I have this in the second house, is Capricorn here. So that is like a complete workhorse. Like I can have, like, I don't know if any of you guys have got this in your third house, second house of money. But like me, when it comes to that, like I can get so much like stuff and money, and I always feel with this like I'm never grounded enough, that I need to keep doing more and more and more and more and more. And what I get, this is also around health as well. Like this is why I'm overweight, because I have this in my second house. So I'm constantly overweight, like indulging in like glitter and gold and expensive things, or you can use it in its highest vibration, which is saving quite a lot. Like if you've got this in the second house, you could save quite a lot. Like you could have like a really good backing of savings, and you're really good at saving, but you also can be very good at also overindulgent energy, which can, like I said, it can relate to your weight and weight issues and stuff like that. And I'm really struggling around like excessive behavior of either money, work, or food. Okay, it depends, because whatever is in your chart, there are lessons around each part of a star sign within the chart. Okay, so it would basically mean in its lowest form and its lowest vibration, or using it as highest benefit. Okay, that would be in control, out of control, needing to gain control of my finances, needing to pull back the reins a little bit, possibly stop spending and start saving. Or I've been saving loads of money and I actually need to now start spending some money. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like trying to find this equality here, which is why a Capricorn energy would represent 6, which is Gemini. Let's see, next 48 for Cancer. 4, money. Again, you see, Scorpio, possible Aries, or life path 4. So you've got huge energies of someone that's just spying and watching and spying and watching and spying and watching and spying and watching and not doing anything. Like they're just blocking themselves out, or they, like I said, man, it's not a person's fault. It's just the fact that Spirit has given them a connection they can't do anything about. Okay, because they have to go through periods of change, like a lot of transformation. You know, from word go, when you meet a soulmate, there sometimes is a shitload of soulmate work that you need to do just metaphysically. Okay, you don't need the answers to what they are metaphysically. You will just be going through a shitload of change. That's why it means Scorpio. So you'll be transforming a lot of energy. Okay, you'll be spending a lot of energy, spending a lot of money, spending a lot of time, spending a lot of effort. Okay, but because, like I said, this in my working sector is cardinal. This is where I teach you over in the teaching segment, if you're not part of it, because a lot of you are probably just lost interest and gone somewhere else to get your answers. Okay, but this is the depth of it. Because this in my work sector is cardinal, and also where my food sector is, because it's cardinal, it can take a long time for me. Why some people say, why is it that you've not got as many subscribers as other people? Because it takes a long time, because it's cardinal, because it's where my money in my sector is. So I have to put a lot more work and effort in than other people do, where it just comes to them naturally. Everybody thinks that law of attraction is the fact that, oh, I'm now going to teach you about law of attraction and it's going to work for you guys, but it's working for me because I'm getting loads of subscribers and I'm getting loads of money and attention from it, so it must work, so I'm going to tell you. But you're giving it to them. That was another part of the teaching tier, where I was saying it's complete bollocks, because it depends on which house a certain star sign is placed and whether it be mutable, fixed, or cardinal. If it's cardinal, then it means that it can take a long time. Okay, so it's a long time coming. It can also mean it takes me a long time to lose weight. It takes me a long time in order to also gain weight. Okay, depending on what it is, because this really could be like food, and I've took on excessive amounts of food, and it takes me a long time to get motivated. It takes me a long time to start realizing I need to diet, or I start it and then sabotage it because it's very toxic. Okay, it can take a long time in order for me to build up my finances, or it has, and I've put so much effort in that now I have quite a bit of money in the bank and saved, but then I also get resentment from other people that may work for different energies, and they resent people that are higher up on the bracket, which Capricorn can do, because it can have resentment. Okay, so depending on where it is placed, I resent people for having more than I do, and it can really wind me up. And it's not a person's fault, human, it's because of the placement of star sign. All you guys, you ramble about and run about, and everybody does this, even myself, like complaining and moaning and things are not right and they're not quite going our way and when I want it to and everything else. It's not the person's fault, it's because of whatever it is that they have within their chart that makes them that person. Okay, so law of attraction and all that bollocks is really not worth, because it like, you know, it's not just a case of writing it on a book and the fact that I need to think positively in order to attract positive energy. No, because if you've got a lot of negative stars, star placements and star signs and numerology, you're going to be a very negative person regardless, no matter how much you try to change it. You have to use what it is that you have to your benefit, to think, okay, well, this is me, this is what I have, this is what I have about me, so I need to use that for my benefit. And that's how you end up finding your calling. Okay, so there's money here and saving it and everything else, and a lot of things that are like building and building and building and building, and I have a lot of it. But I always say, no matter how much you have, no matter how many subscribers you have, no matter how much money in life you have or success, okay, because this is also a very big success energy, okay, no matter how much success you have, is to always remain the same person that you are, okay. A lot of people sometimes, when success goes to their head, okay, they can treat people that are lesser than the person that's above, okay. That will be so above, so below, okay. But again, there's a lot of money that's saved here. There's business and work, but there's also a huge energy of blocking change, transformation, but not seeing it yet. Like, I'm not seeing the answer. Like, I haven't got the answer yet. I'm unable to detach myself from this yet. The cycle of this one is still remaining, okay. Yeah, so there you go. That's pretty much what I've got for you. I think I might clarify a few of these when we get over on the other side, but I'm going to pretty much separate them, okay, and then do you a whole new spread here that say you what you've got coming up for your week, because this is the last 48, this is the next 48, and then we're going to look at these. But I might continue on with this one, and then we'll do you a new spread, I think is what I'm going to do, instead of clearing these away. So yeah, that's what you will get over on the full access bundle, but it will be the full access bundle only, so that's monthlies and weeklies. Clarify these cards and then do your new spread and clarify these ones also, Cancer. Like I said, the link is provided below if you want to join the full access bundle for tarot. If you want the teaching segment, where there is like 33 or 34 constant teaching stuff going over on the teaching tier, if you want to be a part of that one, it tells you all about it in the video and over on the blog posts, all below. Okay, every piece of access to knowledge you need is below. Okay, all right guys, thanks very much. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.